Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm bringing you a build order for a 19 population scout rush, which is probably quite an advanced build order, and it can be done with any civ. And the reason why I say it's advanced is because it involves pushing deer, so it does rely on pushing 3 deer in this particular build order. But I have heard on the grapevine or in the community that a 19 pop scout rush can be done with any civ, and I could just never find a build order for it, so decided to make one myself. So starting off, you just make your 6 villagers as usual, send them to sheep, and then villager number 7 is going to come out and lure the boar. So we're getting the food in early, which is quite important for this build. The next 3 villagers to come out are going to go to wood, and the first villager, or the final villager for the wood, is probably best to make a house with. So obviously that didn't help. A little bit of a delay there in getting the boar in, but never mind, it's fine, it's fine. It may have affected things very slightly at the end because I do have to force drop some food later on, but nothing major. These things happen, as they say. So we're actually using the Saracens with this build order in this example, just because they don't have a particular civ bonus that you can benefit with build orders in the Dark Age from. So yeah, that's why we're using the Saracens. So once you've got your 3 onwards, see, I've not made the house, but it was just a recommendation that you make the house at this point. We're sending all new villagers to town centre food. So we've just sent one there. Next one's probably going to come out and lure the boar, and then the rest of them will keep going to there. As you can see, we are pushing deer. So before your first boar is finished, you need to start pushing the deer in. And as you can see, the house will be made in a minute. It does come in. There we go. House is being made, so we shouldn't get housed. And as you can see, we're just adding more people on to the TC food there. Apologies for that little jingle there. That was a YouTube subscriber. It's all linked into the ABS, I'm afraid. So we're going to get up to 17 population with adding the villages in here before we do something else. So this next one will be the final villager coming onto the TC food here, and we're going to go and push that final deer in. So I've only used 3 deer because, well, that's all we've got on the map, but obviously if you do have a 4th deer, you can use that 4th deer as well, but it does work perfectly fine with 3 deer, as you'll see with this one. Start bringing your sheep in, just so those boar can move on to the sheep. And as I say, we're at 17 population now, so this next villager and the one that's about to come out in a minute will both go to barriers. So it's quite important that we do that, just so we've got that second Dark Age building. And then we're going to click loom, and then we should have enough food to click up to the feudal age. And then, as you can see, we are going to need to drop off some food, a little tiny bit. There we go. And just garrison them out, or ungarrison them again. And then what we need to do is we need to send 5 villagers from the food onto the straggler trees. Now, I don't do it all straight away. I send 3 first, and it's just purely because I was testing it out a little bit. So we send 3 to the straggler tree, and then I will send another 2 in a minute. So we're going to send 5 in total, and we're also going to need to produce a barracks and a house, like so. And then the remaining 7 villages will just stay on sheep and try and collect all the lovely sheepy goodness from those sheep. As you can see, we have got quite a good amount of food in the bank already. Should have enough, certainly should have enough for the stable by the time feudal age comes in as well. Enough wood for the stable. But at this point, we're just scouting around the map, trying to find where the enemy is. As you can see, we're just about to find them. Let's see. There we go. So we do find the house, so we know roughly where they are. That probably would be a death sentence in a real game that's not against the AI, but let's just gloss over that one, shall we? And as you can see, we've hit the feudal age. We've been able to get the stable down straight away. Ideally, you want to get double bit axe, and if possible, also get horse collar So I could have got horse collar at this point, but I've not done. Your first 4 villagers to come out after hitting the feudal age will go to the berries. And then after that, it's just a case of just starting to filter off these villagers from the sheep and add farms. Any new villagers that come out will go to farms or go to the straggler tree and then add farms whenever you've got 60 wood. As you can see, we're going to start making some scouts now as well. Should be able to afford quite a few scouts. I mean, we've got 3 queued up there straight away, and certainly by the time they've all produced, we should be looking pretty good with the food economy. I'm just going to keep filtering off these villages onto the farms. Just going to have one more going over to the berries, and then they'll start going over to the straggler trees there. We should be able to keep maintaining constant scout production. I mean, we're going to have made 4 by this point. So you could probably just make 3, get them to join up with your starting scout and then go on the attack. You may even want to just make the initial 2 and then send them forward with your starting scout. Just so that you can try and get into your enemy base. Because even though the Arabia map has changed considerably recently, people are still able to get fully walled up, which is highly frustrating. But that's why it's good that we do have this option now of getting a early scout rush together. So have had a slight pause in scout production there, but that's just down to my own ineptness, I suppose. We are just going to continue walling up the front of the base. Now, you'll notice we're not overly concerned about getting walled up super quickly. That's because with this one, we're trying to be as fast as we can and be aggressive with the build order. But yeah, it's pretty much just a case of keep adding villages to farms. As you can see, I decided to send some over to wood with a second lumber camp. Took a couple off of that old one. And then we should be pretty good to go up. So that is it for this one, guys. As you can see, we've got quite a few scouts together now. Certainly a good one for Magyars, if you wanted to try this with Magyars. And do hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and you're going to try it in the ranked ladder. And do consider subscribing. I'm going to put an end card on the screen now, hopefully with a game for playing this in the ranked ladder. So keep an eye out for that one, guys. Cheers.